you really hit the nail on the head, because there's been that resistance to going on there by some more established professionals or by established companies, and I say I hope that lasts a little while longer, gives us a chance to take advantage of it before everyone else comes in. But that it's kind of like the more people coming in, it just brings in more attention to it. You really touched upon something about this really kind of is going to strip away what is necessary about a publisher, or what is necessary about a music label, what is necessary, what is obsolete. The death of the middleman. Like, this isn't, it's like this is the year of the creator, or the years of the creator. It's also the death of the middlemen, who are,
It's just like a good time for, or probably it's a golden age in comics where the best material ever is coming out, and then you can go direct, and it's almost like a pre-order system where you know how many copies to print and everything. But it does seem like a weird old idea of okay, you buy a bunch of books and then just set them out and wait for people to come and like look at them and decide to buy them or not. Or you do Kickstarter and it's like you have it right away, they're buying it, and that's it. So it's like an old like market bazaar type of thing where you just lay out.
I just did a blog post and I was aping this marketer I really love, Seth Godin, about new digital inventions, but still the analog thinking. Like, he was bitching about digital parking meters and how they're so ineffective in certain ways. It's like if you were just, and that's why a lot of times kids coming on the scene just blow everyone away, because they can have those fresh eyes. Like, we're only distributing things the way we have been, or like releasing things the way we have been, because that's just what's programmed in our brain is the way it should be.
Yeah.
But now, how is this changing your direct interaction and promotion to retailers, whereas what you were doing before?
I don't know exactly, because it might not be necessary to go through retailers like in the future for me. And I've done my last book, Gladstones. It started off like 6,000 copies, and then we got the numbers for issue 8, and it was 3,000 copies. So it's like the retailers, they can't return stuff, so they curb their orders more and more, and it's like collective retailer strangulation syndrome, where you work for 4 years on a book, and then you have like these great babies, and you drop them off in the babysitter's hands, and then each time they just get strangled to death, and so I don't know. I've done 5 books, and they usually break even, but I don't know. Like, I think I'm kind of heartbroken just about that, and this has been really successful, so I think I'm gonna have to go with what works. And I think with Kickstarter, if we get Gladstones on there, I might be able to buy Armand Billiver's freedom to work on it as his full-time thing, and then get material out, like 12 issues a year. So I think that's a lot more appealing to me.
I like your new syndrome, CRSS.
Yeah. But it is the truth. It's like 4 years of work on a book, and the same thing with Sullivan's. It was 4 years, and then we got the numbers in, and it's like they didn't really want to take a risk on it, but the money for colors and letters and everything, like, I would be holding a huge debt, because in this system it's the upside down pyramid where the creators front the time and everything for the project, but everyone gets paid back and gets a recoup before the creators, and we get the scraps or debt from that. Like the retailers, the printer, the distributor, everybody. So it's, I don't know, it was really frustrating, and before just dealing with that, and it's like, I've done the work, as an artist, I've put in the time and really given it my all, and
anybody who's published anything where they're trying to get their own idea out there has experienced that at some point,
yeah.
It's
but at the same time, there's really supportive retailers and good retailers, but it's just the collective ordering habits. There's just every book is somebody's life, So I mean, I'd rather have it in my own hands, where I can trust myself to promote my own work, and I'll probably go for this and jump in a big way, and then I have a few new projects that are like 3/4 done. So I have like 4 new books ready to go this year that I can follow up almost immediately with and deliver them pretty quickly.
I personally see that this is how everything's going to go. I think this is so powerful, so profound. People are still catching up with it mentally. And now there is a really high-profile sci-fi writer, screenplay writer, and they've launched, I think it's called Space Command. They launched this like 80 grand in 3 days, and they want to do a kick-ass sci-fi show with like real retro feel to it, and they got guys from Battlestar Galactica and Star Trek and all kinds of stuff. It's gonna be amazing, and it's which kind of touches upon one thing that you'd mentioned in another interview about they don't need as many people as they would need to necessarily watch this on TV to make the advertising money. You know, like you don't need as many people to support the comic as you would if you were selling this through a distribution model or a digital model.
It really is sell less and make more, which is it's interesting. Oh well, one point I wanted to add was like a lot of comic book publishers or like more high profile creators are kind of reluctant, but I think it's the misconception of Kickstarter is like kind of a charity or like a handout, or you know, you have like the little change bucket and like, oh, give me money. But I mean, what it is, it's a creator-centered distribution system for, you know, direct pre-order sales, and you know exactly how many copies you're going to sell in this market, and you go direct. So, you know, I don't think there should be any apprehension, and it's not a handout or a charity. It's complete business and complete like entrepreneurship, you know, and taking the future into your own hands. So I would highly encourage any higher and bigger creators to get in on it, because comic books will benefit greatly from it, and the Kickstarter model will grow and grow more.
The thing is, the high profile creators who are maybe a little reluctant are some of the ones that could most easily get support flooding into their page and funding their projects.
Yeah, and then once you have it, you can update, you know, your audience, and you know, 1,000 people will see that at the same time, or 2,000, or whatever your numbers are, and you know, you can do like a call to action to like tweet about it, and you know, it just grows and propagates more and more. So I know I think it is silly to think about it as a charity or a handout. And I think a lot of people do have this perception about you know, it's only for funding stuff, but artists shouldn't make money, you know, on it. And it really is it's just creator-centered distribution. That's it.
It's just, you know, it's like Louis C.K. going online saying, "Give me $5 for this comedy special." He makes over $1 million, probably a couple $1 million by now. We're not all Louis C.K. We don't have the just gigantic gravitational pool of our fans that he does. But you can go on there, and people browsing can shop and look for cool stuff. It's good. It's like every time you encourage someone who is more well known to go on there, it just has this like exponential pool, and that's why Kickstarter is getting so big. I think in a couple of years it's going to be which crowdsourcing thing are you on? It's not just going to be Kickstarter. It's going to be a no-brainer that like, yeah, you go on here and you crowdfund this.
I'd really like to see like movies done like that too, because you know, like you're hearing about James Wan and how they didn't have funding, and you know, but I mean, if movies were done that way, where you just crowdfund it and you get like you know, recoup a percentage or something like that, or you get your free ticket, then so much cool stuff that we want to see is kind of like comic book people would be made, you know, and that would be really interesting.
And it's already possible. Like if some guys can go on there and raise 80 grand in 3 days, and they're like not A-list celebrities. I mean, if a Will Ferrell or a Ridley Scott, or I mean, you know, any genre you want to pick goes on there, they got millions of dollars. You know, it's going to happen. It's going to be awesome, and I think that's a good note to close on. Has there been any unforeseen challenge that maybe you didn't see, or if someone is entering into doing this, what are some of the unexpected things you might encounter?
My advice would be to start like weeks before the Kickstarter kicks in, and then set up your press, and you know, set up interviews to launch on the same day as the Kickstarter, and also give it a few days for it to get approved also, because it takes about 5 days. So like for me, I was kind of sweating it, because I was like, is this thing gonna get approved in time? You know, the press is coming out, and you know, but it did, thankfully, and like the same day exactly. And then let people know about it beforehand. You can't just sit there and depend on the Kickstarter web traffic. You really have to bring your people there, and you know, go all out to promote and talk about your book, like through all sources, and just be creative and think of new and different ideas. And I think with this campaign, I didn't ask anyone to donate or give money. I just, you know, emailed to friends and said, hey, can you share and tweet this, and did it on Facebook, and you know, I've been posting up pinups on my Tumblr and Twitter, and it just got like a huge amount of support. I think from that, you just got to be creative and make something that people really want to buy and can get behind. And I think that's it. But your work is just never done. And when you're doing a Kickstarter, it's like you don't sleep for a month, and because you're just working on it, trying to like swim as fast as you can.
Click refresh. How much? Click refresh. Anybody come
click
anybody
refresh.
pledge?
Hey, can I talk about the book there? Could you feature me here? So it really is kind of a lot of legwork to do, and then talking to friends and doing the work for it. Because I mean, this is like half of the work, and then everyone just talks about the first part of Kickstarter, but producing everything and printing everything, that's going to be really interesting. Just that experience there, and there's always variables and things like that. But I think we're in good shape, and that'll be a lot of fun to do and see, like, once it's done and deliver the book and have it like in my hands and I can read it after all these years.
Thanks Mark, for your time, and I'm really excited. I'm rooting for you. I don't think you need anyone to root for you at this point, but I want to see this. I want to see it hit a couple 100K. I want to see what happens.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want to break 100K, and then I think things are good from there. I have my audience like from that point on, and then it just gets easier and easier with everyone you do. So yeah, the sky's the limit on this. I think for everyone. So I hope more people jump in, into Kickstarter in a big way and just go for it, because we are like blazing a trail here and doing something new, and I think it's just great for comics in general.